Welcome, and thank you for taking time to learn more about the I-94 structure improvements. This is an ongoing project currently being undertaken by the North Dakota Department of Transportation in cooperation with Alteg Engineers. My name is Mary Beckler. I am with Alteg Engineers and am serving as the Consultant Project Manager. With me today, I have Nikki Olson, also with Alteg Engineers, who is serving as the Environmental Lead for this project. Here we have a quick look at what we are planning to cover during today's presentation. We will start with an overview of the project and move into the existing conditions of the structures as well as the proposed repairs. I will discuss our work zone traffic control plan and considerations for utilities and right-of-way. Then Nikki is going to walk us through the environmental process and hit a little bit on our field studies and permitting before I summarize the schedule and conclude with an opportunity for you to share feedback and questions. The I-94 Structure Improvements Project includes 4 bridges located along I-94 within the Bismarck District. The project consists of repairs to structures number 94-108.354, which is the Glen Ullin Interchange, number 94-120.204, which is the Bluegrass Interchange, number 94-123.200, which is the Almont Interchange, and number 94-195.090, which is the Long Lake Interchange. All of these structures are 4-span overpass bridges that correspond to exits 108, 120, 123, and 195 of Interstate 94. We have identified deficiencies at each structure through the use of periodic inspections and inspection reports, along with site visits to confirm findings. The most prevalent deficiencies include numerous spalls and cracks appearing in various locations such as the bridge deck, curb, and abutments. Another common location where defects were identified are joints where seals have deteriorated over time. Most sites also have some sort of erosion or settlement issues at the abutments, likely caused by water coming through those deteriorated joints. 2 locations also have bridge rail and/or guardrail that needs to be brought up to current safety standards. The intent of this project is to repair these identified deficiencies and extend the useful life of the structures. Now we will go into the specifics for each structure. Structure number 94-108.354 is located at the I-94 Glen Ullin Interchange, carrying County Highway 88 across I-94. It is a 4-span, 24 feet wide by 225 foot long, prestressed concrete girder bridge. The structure was built in 1961. In 1994, there was an abutment reconstruction, the addition of approach slabs, and a rail retrofit. As a part of this project, we are proposing to complete a bridge deck overlay, replace the approach slabs, repair curb, rail post, and diaphragm spalls. The existing rail retrofit and guardrail will all be replaced as well to bring this location into compliance with current safety standards. Moving on to structure number 94-120.204, we have another 4-span bridge located at the I-94 Bluegrass Interchange, carrying County Highway 86 and 53rd Avenue across I-94. This steel stringer bridge was built in 1960 with dimensions of 24 feet by 220 feet. The proposed repairs at this structure include a deck overlay and various curb repairs, with particularly extensive repairs near each end post. This structure does not have approach slabs, but we will be adding a freestanding curb at both bridge ends with the intent of directing water away from the abutment. Below deck, we will address the erosion near the abutments as well as several abutment spall repairs. Finally, we will replace the existing guardrail to meet safety standards. There is another steel stringer bridge at the I-94 Almont Interchange, carrying County Highway 86 and 50th Avenue across I-94. Similar to the previous structure, structure number 94-123.200 has 4 spans with overall dimensions of 24 feet by 220 feet and was even constructed the same year, 1960. However, at this location, approach slabs were added along with a rail retrofit and deck overlay in 2000. Work at structure number 94-123.200 is anticipated to include a deck overlay, slight repairs to the approach slab, as well as resealing the joint. There are spalls in the curb, abutment, and pier column that will also be repaired. Lastly, we will look at structure number 94-195.090, which is located at the I-94 Long Lake Interchange, carrying 20th Avenue Southeast across I-94. It is a 4-span, 24 feet by 240 feet pre-stressed concrete girder bridge. This structure was built in 1966. The improvements at this location include only a couple repair types, but they will increase usable life nonetheless. There will be a deck overlay and replacement of slope paving panels adjacent to both abutments. Now we will look at our approach to work zone traffic control for this project. Since we are dealing with narrow structures, we will be required to close the whole road during the bridge deck overlay construction. Advanced warning signs will be provided on the county roads and interstate that will instruct drivers of the alternative routes that can be utilized at each location. For some of the more minor repairs and substructure work, standard shoulder or lane closures may be utilized for short durations. The following general strategy will be utilized at each structure. All interstate through traffic will be maintained during construction, but may be subject to short-term lane or shoulder closure. Any I-94 traffic wishing to exit and utilize the structure will be directed to continue on the interstate to the next exit, turn around, and proceed to their original destination. Any crossroad traffic desiring to cross the interstate using the structure will be directed to take the interstate to the next exit, turn around, and proceed to their original destination of the interstate or back onto the crossroad. Looking a little closer at structure number 94-108.354, we will utilize exit 110, which is 2 miles to the east, and exit 102, which is about 6 miles to the west, to facilitate alternative routes for County Highway 88 and Interstate 94 traffic wishing to utilize the structure of exit 108. Local traffic may opt to utilize gravel frontage roads or other routes, but they will not be signed as the primary detour. Since structures number 94-120.204 and number 94-123.200 are only about 3 miles apart, construction will be limited to one site at a time, and alternative routes will be provided utilizing the other structure and the nearest exit in the other direction, which again is only 3 or 4 miles. So when exit 120 is closed, exits 117 and 123 will be used to reroute traffic. While construction is happening at exit 123, our alternative routes will utilize exits 120 and 127. At structure number 94-195.090, the closest full interchanges along Interstate 94 lie about 5 miles east or 5 miles west, just north of Steele and Driscoll respectively. Those exits will be utilized as the primary detour routes. For local traffic, County Road 10 and the frontage roads may be the shortest route. All of the possible alternative routes we discussed here today are subject to change during the design phase, but convey our conceptual plan. The structures lie well within existing NDDOT right-of-way, and we do not anticipate any type of acquisition being required to complete this work. Utilities exist within the general proposed improvement areas, but due to the nature of the work, impacts to utilities are not anticipated. With that, I will hand it off to Nikki to discuss some environmental information.
Thank you, Mary. I will now discuss the environmental process, field studies, and permitting on the project. We are currently in the environmental process. Since the project is on an interstate, the project must be developed in compliance with the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. NEPA is a federal overarching procedural law that prescribes a number of required elements, including the development of purpose and need, public and agency involvement, and the analysis of alternatives. We want to hear the public's thoughts, comments, and suggestions to help us in developing the project as part of this process. An environmental document, called a CADEX by definition, will be prepared. This document will analyze any anticipated environmental impacts as a result of the project. To keep going on the topic of environmental compliance, several field studies will be conducted to determine baseline conditions within the study area that will then be used to assess and quantify impacts from the project. These include a topographic survey and a bridge bat assessment for the northern long-eared bat. Wetlands are present near the study areas. A Section 404 permit from the United States Army Corps of Engineers, USACE, is required for impacts to jurisdictional wetland impacts. If there are any impacts to wetlands, this project will utilize a non-reporting nationwide permit number 3. I will now hand it back over to Mary to discuss the schedule.
Thank you, Nikki. Finally, let's take a look at the project schedule. We are currently conducting the public input meeting. This public input meeting will be followed by a 15-day comment period running from now through March 27, 2024. Following the close of that comment period, the team will work to complete the environmental document. As we move into the spring months, our survey and field crews will complete their work and allow for the design to be finalized in the summer of 2024. This project is intended to be posted for bid early in 2025, with construction taking place that same year. As noted, the schedule is tentative and subject to change. Please take a moment to fill out the Title VI Participation Survey. Copies of the survey can be found by the sign-in sheet. Before we close, I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to our presentation today and engaging on this project. As I just mentioned, we will be accepting comments on the project until March 27th of 2024. I highly encourage anyone with comments, questions, or concerns to please reach out and provide those comments. Those comments can be provided via hard mail or email. Emails can be sent to me at mary.beckler@altag.com. If you do submit comments via email, if you could please include Public Input Meeting PCN 23768 in the subject heading, that would be very much appreciated. That concludes our presentation today, and thank you again for participating.